Good morning, MDUMC. It's Pastor Colin with your Daily Word. If you've been watching Daily Word from the beginning, or you remember my sermon from the sermon series Pastor's Playlist last summer, you know that I'm a fan of the singer-songwriter Jason Isbell, and he has a new record that just came out called Reunions. And on that record, there's a song called It Gets Easier, and the hook of that song, the chorus is, "It gets easier, but it doesn't get easy." This is Jason Isbell reflecting on his time of becoming sober, looking back on his struggles with alcoholism over 8 years, and during that time he discovered that it progressively got easier day after day, one day at a time, but it doesn't get easy, and it's still not easy even where he is now in his sobriety. It reminds me of this Psalm 66, where the psalmist is reflecting on the past, even reflecting on trials, and still in the midst of it praising God and seeing that God was with this person in the midst of their trials. And during this time of difficulty, the song is timely because we're living with maybe the most difficult person to live with, ourselves. As we live through this time together, we know that maybe our normal life was covering up some of the difficulty, was covering up some of the things that we were afraid to face. And now all this time spent at home, we have to face some of those things, whether we like it or not. And it gets easier to face those things along the way, but we know during this time, it doesn't necessarily get easy. So I want to share this psalm with you, the beginning of Psalm 66. It reflects those same ideas that God is with us in our trials, and over the course of them, we're refined into something new, and it gets easier. Our life has changed, but it doesn't necessarily get easy. Psalm 66 says this: "Shout for joy to God, all the earth. Sing the glory of his name. Make his praise glorious. Say to God, how awesome are your deeds. So great is your power that your enemies cringe before you. All the earth bows down to you. They sing praise to you. They sing the praises of your name. Come and see what God has done, his awesome deeds for mankind. He returned the sea into dry land. They passed through the waters on foot. Come, let us rejoice in him. He rules forever by his power. His eyes watch the nations. Let not the rebellious rise up against him. Praise our God, all peoples. Let the sound of his praise be heard. He has preserved our lives and kept our feet from slipping. For you, God, tested us. You refined us like silver. You brought us into prison and laid burdens on our backs. You let people ride over our heads, and we went through fire and water. But you brought us to a place of abundance." During this time, may we come to a place of abundance, resting in the fact that God is with us through it all. Amen.